I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Getting close to that weekend. Getting close to that live show.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Going to be fun. Can't wait. Again, if you do not have tickets, we will have some segments up on our TikTok live, and we'll also have the whole video dropping on Tuesday on YouTube. So you'll be able to see it then the following morning. Yesterday on YouTube, we had a very interesting thumbnail that we talked about. It was Jbird scratching his nose, but looked like maybe he was going in for a pick.
Ain't life about a bitch, huh?
Yeah, that's just kind of the way it goes. And
The booger hunting.
Yeah, a lot of booger hunters around here, actually.
I swear, I think the more defensive you get, I wasn't picking, whatever.
Yeah.
I pick.
I really was just scratching. It did look like I was digging, though. It's a tough look, Bird.
Today, YouTube was able to snag Virginia there.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Did it really?
Yeah.
All right. Are these things fucking with us? What is going on with these thumbnails?
Do we have some kind of AI booger hunting thing put on to our thumbnail finder?
Is someone just screenshotting us when they catch us and saying that's the thumbnail? And if that's the problem, we pick at our nose way too much.
I pick at everything. I'm a picky person. I'm very picky. I pick my fingers. I pick my face. I just pick.
Today, I was going like this to my nose. I go, oh, shit, don't do that, Bird. They're going to get you again. They got you instead. All right, Kevin, it's your turn tomorrow.
Okay. All right, I'll make sure I come in here with some bats in the cave.
Get a good nugget.
Yeah, okay. Got a couple of questions here that Nick thinks might have gone unanswered. He said, listener wrote in and told Jbird about a ghost she saw behind him during the YouTube broadcast, and he said he was going to go back and watch it. Did you watch it? Did you find a ghost?
I didn't see anything.
But you looked.
I did look.
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything.
I did too. I broke it down. I sent to you guys. I'm like, am I missing something? I had my daughter Caitlin look. She didn't see anything, so I don't know what they were talking about.
And sometimes you can't see it until someone points it out to you. Maybe it's in the corner and I'm not seeing it, but I looked all over and I couldn't find anything.
She also could have been drinking, thought she saw a ghost.
Oh, catfishing me? All of the above.
We get so many, oh, I'm sorry, DMs, because people will write something in the DMs, and then the next day they sober up and look at it, and they're like, oh, gosh, I'm so sorry.
My favorite feature is when someone sends you something like at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then all of a sudden you see it, and it goes unsent message.
You're like, yeah, they were drinking.
They were drinking.
Game recognizes game.
Uh-huh. And then the other question he has was, Denny's talking cat Rufus one of the cats involved in that fight that he broke up?
He's got two cats. I don't know. Denny's, was it Rufus? It was Rufus.
Was.
Talking cat. Yeah.
So he was maybe talking shit.
Rufus
Maybe.
is squirrely.
I love Rufus.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure Rufus feels the same towards me, but I do.
Rufus don't love nobody.
Okay. Wow. All right, so there you go. All right, got Jen from Weston throwing in a little note here about the Florida Panther watch party going on tonight at Amerant Bank Arena. Just $10 to get in. Parking is free, and I hear they're going to have reduced prices on concessions. And Jen said, let the good people know that the ticket cost of $10 for the watch party both nights, tonight and on Saturday, is going towards the Panthers Foundation, which supports many local charities, including the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital.
Beautiful.
They show the game live on the Jumbotron, and then project plays on the actual ice. Really cool. Wow.
That is cool.
That is very cool.
What a cool, fun event.
Yeah, that is.
Affordable, family friendly,
Yeah.
budget conscious.
Good cause.
I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you, Panthers, for doing that for the fans.
Yep, that is very cool. So that'll be a fun thing to check out both nights. And hopefully the Panthers, I do, and we were talking about it earlier. I hate to say it, I do want them to lose one game because I want them to win it in South Florida.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe lose. It'd be nice to have them lose tonight, actually, win on Saturday, so they got momentum back, and then you're like, all right, you know they're going to do it.
Even when my Braves were in the World Series, I mean, I obviously wanted them to win, but I never enjoyed a sweep of anything. Sweep is basically, oh my gosh, it feels so good. Oh, it's too
It's
soon.
not a competition. You want a
Yeah.
little bit of a fight.
I want to edge me a little bit, make me care, make me feel.
John sent an email about Monopoly. He said, not sure why you guys are so far behind on this, but they have been doing this with Monopoly since like the early 90s. And I'm pretty sure there's already a Del Rey-opoly. Virginia, there's been an FSU-opoly for years, too. Yeah, it's not that, we're behind it. It's just that Fort Lauderdale is now getting their own official version, and that was the story that had come out. They did a big publicity push about it, and so it was out in the news. They had the Monopoly guy that was, riding on the New River and things like that.
And I also work with two son of a biscuits who don't respect and hate Monopoly. Y'all do not sweat Monopoly in any way.
It's not my favorite game.
The reason why I like it, it's because you can do a lot of role playing. It's a lot of, if you get the right combination of people, it's kind of like a wrestling. You try to fuck with each other's minds.
Yeah.
You're a slumlord.
Right.
If you have the right combination, it's a lot of fun. Same thing with Risk, but everyone's got to be all in. You can't have somebody looking at their clock playing Monopoly. That's a Connect 4 motherfucker right there.
Yeah. Well, the thing I thought was cool about it, the thing I like with the concept is they said they got 22 slots that they have to fill. And so that's part of the debate is, all right, what is going to make it, especially when you get down towards the end. They said the one thing they're conscious of, too, is, the Baltic Avenue, which is the place you don't really want to get the slums. You got to be careful with that. Somebody had even said they had a ghetto-opoly once upon a time that they took off the market because it was so offensive to so many people.
Well, since I was a kid, I've always loved that area. It was the cheapest property. And I always rolled shitty dice when I was a kid. I always got to get a 2, a 3, although snake eyes would always be good. But I loved it because you get to pass 200 or the go, get 200. Then you get all that rent money coming in.
Yep.
I don't know. I loved being I loved Baltic Avenue as a kid.
Well, there's a lot of things you can do with it because you do have the game pieces that could be unique to that area. We were talking about, cars, boats, bird scooters, bags of cocaine. What are you going to use for that? Somebody else texted in a bunch of different rules where you win $50. You use the advice from the KVJ show and you use the new Florida gambling app and won.
It's amazing.
Okay. You lose $200. The girls 20 years younger who thought they were into you stole your money while you were drugged. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could.
Those cards that you pick, was it chance and
Community chess and chance, and I love those because you never know what's going to happen. It could shake up the whole game.
Yep.
And I'm into it.
Chance, you might get rolled. You thought you were getting a blowjob, but instead you got drugged and robbed.
Yeah, right. That would be great for a Fort Lauderdale one.
Fort Lauderdale.
You lose $500 because your house trailer was damaged in the hurricane. Yep. You took a side trip to the Hard Rock, win $500.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
That's the cool thing about Monopoly is if you have your own league or your own crew, you can make up your own rules as well.
And yeah, it's fun to personalize it to this level.
Street rules are the best because if you go to piss and you don't protect your money and you're missing $100, that's on you.
So now you got to bring all your money to the bathroom. Now it's tainted.
Or do you trust the people you're playing with?
You're handing over some.
Trust no one.
You don't have to bring that money in there. You don't have to have piss money. But I'm just saying, it's street rules and it's fun.
Your Uber to Port Everglades upped his price because he thought you were a rich tourist. Pay $100.
Oh.
Okay, and you're on jury duty and were slipped some money to vote innocent. Collect $200. Okay, I like those. Those all work.
I love it.
Somebody said they got the board game Port St. Luciopoly, and they even sent in cover of the board itself. That's tough to say. Port St. Luciopoly.
It's a little wordy.
Yeah, but on there they got the St. Lucie River, Florida's Turnpike. It says Lingate Park. Okay. Contingency, draw a card. Okay, all the different stuff that you got on there.
Pizzlemonopoly is better.
It's easier to say.
But I think, are we the only ones that know, other than us and KVJ Nation, know about the pizzle?
I think maybe a few, but yeah, for the most part, it's us.
It caught on, though. If you live in the pizzle, you like saying pizzle.
Yeah, there's no way if you live in the pizzle, you haven't heard that you live in the pizzle, right?
It's so much easier to say than Port St. Lucie. It takes forever.
It does not roll off the tongue.
No.
Yeah. Also, Royal Palm Beach and Wellington has them. You can buy them at Walmart, Erica said.
Yeah, my girlfriend had just got Brass Ring Pub is on the Royal Palm
That's
Beach
smart.
one.
Yeah,
she
it
was
should
all
be.
excited, and they went and
Yeah.
bought a bunch of them. That is so cool.
That's cool. That's a great location, too, the one there.
Yeah, they do really well at that
Okeechobee.
location.
You let me know. You guys want to do a little Monopoly game night? Bird's got you. I'll have all your favorite snacks. I'll have
You'd
your...
like to play for 11 hours. I don't have time
No,
for you.
That's when I was younger.
He has bills all covered in piss.
I'll make... Oh, we're playing street rules. Man, okay, I'll bring the checkerboard out and the Connect 4. And I do love those games as well.
Looking for some new stuff to watch. Appreciate this from Shannon putting this show called Presumed Innocent on our radar. It is an Apple TV show in the crime genre, and it's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it. That looks like that could be interesting. Apple TV. I think they're the ones that did his movie. Well, I think that was an Apple TV.
Okay.
For Roadhouse?
Roadhouse.
I don't
Was that
know.
Apple TV or Prime?
That was Prime.
Was it Prime? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Never mind.
I watched the first 10 minutes of that Hitman show that you liked.
Oh, yeah. What did you think?
Magnolia wanted to watch it because she's a big fan of the guy.
Yes.
And she's like, Mom, he doesn't look as hot as he did in Anyone But You.
Well, that's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
That's why you got to watch it. So he's a regular, ordinary dude, and then he takes on the persona of the hitman. And the hitman's a hot.
We're only like 16 minutes into it, and already I love it.
Let Mags know you'll get his hot look. Yeah, he's not
Okay.
going to go a whole movie and not,
He's got to bring
Be
out the
hot.
hot.
It's a movie or
It's a movie.
Okay, I might watch it then, so I know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
It's cute.
Yeah,
You would like
it's
it
cute.
too. You would like it.
It's not a cinematic masterpiece.
No.
but
I'm
not looking for
it's
that.
cute. It's a fun ride.
And it's behind the scenes of, the whole police hitman thing. It's interesting to me. I like it.
I could use a cute movie.
It's well acted. It's well shot. It's a glossy, good-looking movie.
Yeah, and Chicago Lulu said the Arjona girl that's in that's his co-star. She is half Guatemalan, and she's next level hot.
She is very pretty.
I mean, next level.
Even with like no makeup.
That girl's very good
she's
looking.
a 10.
Yeah, she's very good looking. Yeah, and she's great in that. Trashly has a murder show for Jbird. Don't know if you watched it, but you can check out Jinx on Netflix. It's about Robert Durst. There's an old movie from the early 2000s with Kirsten Dunst and Ryan Gosling that told a version of the Robert Durst missing wife story.
Yes, I know this very well. I've seen it before. It's very good.
Yeah, I think they have a new version. I've seen previews for it. They did a second season. I don't know what the update is, but they've got...
He still did it, and he's still old.
Yeah, that's why I was like, well, what's the update? But I guess you got to watch it to find out. There's other murders and missing people connected to this rich, entitled fuck on episode 3 of season 1. 2 seasons total. Yeah, so there is a second season.
Yeah, there's some people I feel like they've done things and they got caught later on in life, and perhaps it's the first time, but for example, I was watching this video where this guy who's 73 years old, and this woman was having an open house. She was a real estate agent, and he drove by like 3 or 4 different times, and it was an open house going on like 20 minutes. He gets out of the car, walks up. She goes, oh, the open house doesn't start in 20 minutes. He tries to force himself on her, tries to kidnap her, all in broad daylight, then gets in his car and drives away, and then they catch him. And you go, what an impulsive, just fucking maniac. But I don't think that's his first time at age 74 doing something like that.
Yeah, he might have just got too old to pull it
Yes.
off successfully. Maybe he did it in his 40s with ease.
Probably, I imagine murderers are like athletes.
They talk about this.
Yeah, because you're not as strong not as agile as you used to be. Your
But you
vision
still want to play.
vision starts to go and all that, but you still got the devil in you.
The Golden State Killer. That's what happened. He was, from what the stories that were reported, he was very athletic, and I think in his mid 40s to late 40s, he was doing his evil, and he mixed up with somebody who was stronger than him, and it was the first time
Oh,
he'd
wow.
ever gotten
Okay.
injured and hurt, and it slowed him down a bit. It
Good.
made him think a little bit, and that's why there was a slowdown of cases after, because he finally
Wow.
met his match and got a little injured himself. But I think you're right. I think they have their time
The
period.
arc, yeah, and it probably like athletes, a lot of them probably don't know when to walk away and retire.
Well, I think too, to your point, they probably, the older they get, they look at more maniacal, easier ways to get what they want. You know, you can't just barge in like you did when you were in your 40s.
They don't want to challenge themselves; they just want an easy kill.
But I don't think when you do evil shit like that in your 70s, I don't think that's your first ride. Just
I
my
agree.
opinion.
It would be
I
an odd
agree.
time to pick up murder.
It would be an
Right.
odd time
Just
to
be like,
pick
yeah,
it
I feel like
up.
I've done it all. Whatever. I've not murdered anybody. I think I might get that off my list.
I'm not saying it can't happen, but I think 9 out of 10, possibly more, that you're doing evil shit in your 70s like that. We're talking about the bad stuff.
You've done it before.
I just think, and you haven't, and there's no record. I think you've gotten away with it.
But now you're in your 70s and you're going to be sloppier, you're going to be slower, you're going to be less able to cover your tracks.
Broad daylight in the middle, like right in front of everybody.
That is ballsy.
Ballsy.
Yes, it is. We've got Joshua saying in an email, said, Bert, if you're looking for a good documentary video, check out The Casual Criminalist on YouTube. He covers all kinds of horrific murders and crimes.
Yeah, I've been out of the murder game for a minute. Might jump back in.
Yeah, okay. Get back in it.
Yeah, I just there's so much of the same stuff out there. Mm-hmm. I mean,
You
and plus
into-
a lot of it's heavy too.
You into it all bank robbery stuff?
Nah, I'm more into murder.
I'm fascinated, but there's a one on Netflix right now, How to Rob a Bank. And it's this guy who in Seattle for like a while was a prolific bank robber, but it tells like the whole story, like the guys that he worked with. It gives like the backstory of how they did it and what they did and how they just fumbled their way into being successful quite a few times, and then they got better and perfected it. It's pretty interesting.
Netflix?
It
It's
is
on
on
Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
See, they do a good job on their documentaries, especially if it's like a 4-parter. I like that.
I liked this one. I was a fan of How to Rob a Bank.
Okay. You guys give me some stuff to think about. I like that.
Angela Leah's got some good advice when it came to the topic of declawing cats. And she said, look, I had actually thought about it when we were getting some kittens, my fiance and I. They were 3 and 4 months old. We were worried about their claws. We just moved into a new place and had brand new furniture. But yeah, we didn't go that way after I really looked into it. You know, if you clip their nails, it's not really that big of a deal, and it doesn't snag any of the furniture. They have nail clippers now with a guard on it, so it makes clipping cats' nails easy. You can do it just like a professional, because I was always worried about clipping it too short. Doesn't happen now.
I would be very worried about that.
Yeah, so get those kind of clippers. And you can also get cat claw covers. You stick them on with nail glue and they slide right onto their nails. You just have to buy the correct size depending upon their size and weight. That's interesting.
Cat claw covers? Like your cat looks like Freddy Krueger?
I would guess so. That's kind of interesting. How about
That's
that?
fun. I like when dogs wear shoes or cats wear shoes. I just think it's amazing. I saw a dog out at one of those food festivals the other day, and he had on pink Crocs that were made for a dog. I love it.
Do you think he loved it? Do you think the dog loved it?
He didn't look sad. He was prancing around. Maybe he likes it. Maybe it's more cushiony than his normal doggy pad.
That would always be the one thing. I'd always rub Sweet Chewy's legs, and I'd feel his paws, and they'd be so rough. Because, you know, a dog every now and then has got to get on the asphalt and walk, and you go, yeah, well, you wonder if he had some dog slippers. Or,
Crocs.
yeah. Would he be down with that?
Would he like it?
Yeah. That's good. Gosh, I wish dogs could talk. I wish animals could talk. If I had a wish.
The conversations.
If I had a wish, one of the things would be, I wish I could talk to animals and we could really communicate.
Eat enough LSD, they will.
True, yeah.
The thing that wears off, and then you get nothing but just these horrific memories.
With my luck, though, you get dragons instead of dogs because you always dream about dragons.
gosh.
But imagine if you could talk to a grizzly bear, and a grizzly bear is giving you some insight about nature that you had no fucking idea about.
And like tips on how to live better.
Yeah, it just had a different perspective.
It'd be something.
It would be a lot.
Yeah.
No, I'm not high.
Alyssa said, I wanted to comment on the email the guy that had sent in about his partner wanting him to get his hair fixed. Didn't sound like he was into it, and he was upset that she just had even brought it up, that, maybe she doesn't find him as attractive without hair as when he did have it. They've been together for 7 years, if I remember right. She said, just want to let you know, my husband got something called follicular unit extraction, FUE, about a year and a half ago. And it's different than other procedures because what they do is they take one hair at a time and they place it on the scalp wherever it's receding. You ever notice how people have the Dr. Phil hairdo? Well, a lot of times you don't lose the hair on the side of your head. Those follicles always stay good. So what they do, they extract those follicles and put them on the top of the head.
Gotcha.
Where the follicles have closed off. It's DHT is basically it's testosterone that squeezes off the life of the hair, and then it just gets thin and breaks off and falls off. And so they take the follicles on the side of your head and put them up there, and they never turn off. So that's what that is. It's basically a hair transplant, but the fancier style, and it does take a while to do, and it is not cheap, and that's the problem. And I've also talked about the one person I had talked to about it had a nice head of hair, had I think gotten 5 or 6 transplants.
Wow.
Had about $10K plus a pop.
Dang.
I think he was looking at $60 to $90K to not be bald.
He really wanted hair.
It only took him 14 years to get it and $100,000.
Yeah.
And then he died of old age the week later.
I always wondered, why wouldn't, like a Hulk Hogan, for example, this guy's got millions and millions of dollars, and you can even see it on his face when he's fighting in the ring and the bandana comes off and he's got the horseshoe. You can see almost his confidence go down. You go, why would a Hulk Hogan who, he's in that ring, the bandana's going to come off. Why wouldn't he not do that? Is it because it probably wasn't available back then?
Yeah, it's definitely gotten a lot better. When you talk about the hair game, it's a whole new level, and they keep improving upon it. When I grew up, the toupees were you snapped them on, and it was just terrible, and it was obvious. So that game is different. The hair pieces that they have, or the hair units as they call them.
Could you walk your sweet ass in here on Monday if could Hair Club give you Hulk Hogan hair?
What, long in the back?
No, like I'm talking. Picture Hulk Hogan in his heyday with the full blonde mane. Could
where he
they
had
do
it on
that?
top?
Yeah, he had his full head of hair, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, they can do about anything.
That's badass.
You want to do? Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah. But yeah, the transplant stuff, the FUE that she's talking about, that's relatively new. And you can see the before and after. And it does. That's the thing. So what, oddly enough, happens is when you replace it, the hair breaks off and falls off your head. And you're like, what the heck, man? What did I just pay for? But it takes 6 months, and then it grows back.
Wow.
In that spot. And so it does. So it takes 6 to 9 months for you to then get the results of your hair transplant. But like I said, it's effective and it's good. And then you'll never go bald in that spot again. But then the question is, how many transplants do you need? Because if you are Dr. Phil, he would probably be a 5 to 6 hair transplant kind of guy, at least.
$10,000 a pop.
Yeah, you're probably looking at $80,000 to get him a full head of hair.
See, Dr. Phil, I can see him rocking the horseshoe look. He's a doctor, and almost gives him, I don't know. He's like, all right, he's credible. He's balding. He's been through it. Hulk Hogan, he's a champ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was, yeah.
He was.
Yeah. Look, I think today, the one that just stands out to me, I don't know if you guys saw, they retired Tom Brady's number and had a big ceremony. Packed stadium. I mean, they packed the football stadium. They had Jay-Z perform to bring Tom Brady out to retire his number and put him in the New England Patriots Hall of Fame.
How much does a fucking farewell does this guy need?
Yeah, they're doing they want to claim him. I think a big part of it too is they want to make sure that when he goes into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, he goes in a Patriot, and so they're giving him all kinds of love because they want that. If you're walking the halls in 50 years, Tom Brady's bust will be in there, and kids of future generations will want to be like, oh yeah, the Patriots, and so they'll still have that clout and that shine.
Whatever went wrong in New England and made him go to Tampa and whatever happened, I think they're putting it all on Belichick, and him and Kraft are now boys again. And they're like, oh, yeah, Belichick was the problem.
I don't know, man. Did you watch that roast? It's like everyone, kumbaya at that roast.
They had some digs at Belichick.
They had digs at everybody.
Well, last night he smoothed it all over because, you're right. There were some bumps in his departure and everything that happened. And he said to Belichick, he said, it's not you, it's not me, it was us. And so he left it at that, saying it was the combination of both of us that got us all those Super Bowls.
There's no way he does not go in the Hall of Fame other than a Patriot. There's no way.
Yeah,
He
you
has
would
to
think,
go
but
as a
there
Patriot.
have been some of those kind of squirrely things where there has been somebody that you would think of them for a majority of their career with one team, but they had a massive falling out. And you're like, wait, they're going in they played there like a season. And so those kind of things have happened. And so I think that's part of it where you want to make sure because they get to choose, what jersey they're going to have, what cap they're putting on. So I think that's a big part of it. But to the point, that is a dude that has amazing hair.
Yes, and it wasn't always as full and bushy as it is now.
No, you could even see. And looking at his hair last night, I'm like, good heaven. I mean, he's got the robust hair of a 20-year-old.
He looked like he goes every week for a new transplant.
Yeah, it's getting stronger. And that's the thing that's really amazing. It does. Having that kind of hair, it makes you look younger.
It does.
He looked
it really does.
He looked 32.
Oh, if Dr. Phil had a full head of hair, you would be so wet.
He's actually looking better now than he did 15, 20
It's
years
amazing.
ago.
Yeah, he's hotter after his NFL career than when he went into the NFL.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hair, baby.
Definitely. Hair and I think
Money.
some
The way he takes care of his
shredding
body.
and
Yeah.
maybe some face help.
All the above.
They got so much help. Get the fuck out of here.
So much help.
So much help.
But look, he's got Tom Brady money, so he's investing in himself. And not only is he a legendary, icon from football, now he's a legendary icon for being a hottie.
I'm sorry. I ain't trying to kiss no ass here. Kevin Ralston's hair looks better than Tom Brady's, and I'll say that to the urn.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I don't know if I agree with that statement.
Yeah. I disagree too, but
Did you see the picture? Look at this. Look at his current hair from whatever this was last night. That it's tight.
It's a 10.
It's so full.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so perfect. It doesn't look too coiffed.
No.
It doesn't look not coiffed enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like somebody took their full time and attention to make it perfection.
I said what I said. I think the Kevin Ralston looks better than Tom Brady. Sorry.
Well, I
Fucking fight
definitely,
me.
I definitely look a lot better because of the hair clips. It does make a massive difference.
It does.
Yeah, so there are options out there that you can use. I saw something that was kind of crazy. It was this plastic surgeon. I guess he's really famous. He's in Turkey, of all things, too. And it was a show. It was kind of breaking down what this guy had done. Amazing that he was taking women that looked like they were 65 and not very attractive. And their before and after, I've never seen anything like it. Next photo, they look 37 and smoking hot. I'm like, how did he do that? There's no way. And then one of them that they'd showed, not that he had worked on her, but they showed the transformation of, I think it was Kendall Jenner? Kendall or Kylie, one of the two. I don't know the difference.
Kendall's the one that's like the supermodel, like more like the smaller frame.
yeah,
Kylie's more curvy.
Okay, they showed the one, whichever one it was one of the Jenner girls, looked like a regular plain nothing. And then they showed the progression of the work she's had done. And now it's just flawless. It's like, you got blessed. But they showed how much work that was and what they did. It's pretty fascinating, actually. Say, wow, man, these really great plastic surgeons can just do wonders.
Wait, the Kardashians and the Jenners, they had work done?
I know,
Wait
right?
a minute.
It's
What
not
the
all natural.
shit is going on?
Yeah, they're not born with all those kind of things.
And be okay and be at peace with you not knowing the difference between the two Jenner girls. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right, exactly. So that's kind of the way it goes. Let me see other stuff that we got going on here. I don't know if you saw your boy Rob Schneider was getting a little bit of heat in Virginia. He'd gone on a popular radio show in Australia and was railing on Will Smith, calling him an a-hole and a liar. And
Very topical.
yeah, about the slap at the Oscars.
I mean, the same could be said of you, Rob.
Yeah.
You're a moron.
Kind of wanted that.
I don't know. I just think he's trying to get shine off of somebody else's thing because Will is out there promoting Bad Boys and Rob needs help. Rob is, being asked to leave stages
And
by
also-
crowds that are booing him.
Also, too, Schneider's got a little bit of the pissy comedy, I like to call it, kind of like, blah, blah, blah. It reeks of some political type of, those kind of topics, and it just gets people all fucking fired up. And,
Yeah.
And if you're not good at that kind of comedy, it's going to miss for a lot of people,
Right.
you know?
How were the hosts over there vibing him? Like, what was their take on what he was saying?
I only got to see the clip, and it was mainly him. It was you had a little bit of the female co-host, but it wasn't anything that made you feel that they were or were not feeling whatever was said. They were just asking him a pointed question about it.
Did he say goodbye and sell them?
Did he say he could buy and sell them?
Yeah,
Like he
I don't
did
think
to
he could.
us.
And
Did they wait in
honestly,
the parking lot?
I don't think he could because I think the host of that show has a lot more. They make a ton of money in radio in Australia.
They're a big, big deal, that show.
Yeah.
Like, they are the kings of the whole continent.
Well, that's how it works in England and Australia. Yeah, a lot of times the radio stars in the big cities, it's pumped all over the entire country.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's smaller, it's more densely packed in there, and so that's the way they are. But oh my gosh, yeah, they have budgets, and you saw the videos, Jbird. They showed them.
It looks
yeah,
tight.
remember when-
Yeah, their phones worked.
Yeah, yeah. Right, so yeah, I don't know that he went off on them. I think he was just going off. on
He
Will
saves
Smith.
his ranting for the peons like us.
Yeah.
Well, the comedians don't like doing morning radio. They don't like waking up early. Even if they're not big booze hounds, they just don't like waking up. And I get it. Sometimes I get it because
I get it too.
If you're walking into something and a show is making you do something you're not comfortable with, and now you're forced to do that, you're kind of
And you already don't want to be there.
exactly.
So it's like the club is making you do it, or it's in your contract that you have to do it, and you don't want to be there. It really is a recipe for disaster for both sides. Now, there are people that love it, like your Joe Coys, and he will talk about how he loves doing it because why not? It's a chance for him to expose himself to new people, and he wants to do that, and he looks at it differently.
He does. I've heard him talk about it before, where I forget who he was talking to. He was talking to another famous comedian. He was saying, he's like, oh, I hate doing those morning shows. And because the Joe Coy said, well, still do the morning shows. Even if you have a sold out show, it's a free commercial for you. Why would
Right.
you not ever
Yeah.
want to? Even if 5 people who didn't know who you were are now fans of yours, why would you not want that free advertising of what you do?
It's a chance to grow your brand, and you're not going to pay a dime for it. Like, it's just like it's given to you. So take it.
Yep. Absolutely.
I will say too, when podcasts started to kind of take flight a bit, I noticed an attitude shift in comedians toward the end. They were getting better as far as their attitudes was.
Yeah.
I think people were starting to blast them of being assholes on social media.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a little too full of themselves.
Totally.
You're going to have one of those comedians. I did not accept the interview. I don't know. Bert Kreischer's in town. He's playing the amphitheater, and they're like, hey, you want to have him on? They're like, he's great on radio. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure he is. No, I'm good. So we passed on that. But yeah, I've got nothing. Yeah, I've seen him do a couple of bits I thought were funny.
I would want to talk to him about the backlash of his fan base, and that would be interesting.
And he might.
I think he would, to be quite
yeah,
honest
he probably
with you.
would. And so I thought about going down that route, but
Just because I've been watching a lot of it go on, and the last year or so, there's a portion of their audience, him and Tom Segura, that have turned on them, and you could tell they've made a PR.
Yeah.
At least Tom Segura has tried to make a PR switch. Now, I know some people are going to email in and say, that's not true, Jbird. I'm telling you, they've lost part of their audience. They just have.
yeah, well, they are able to see downloads and numbers
Yes.
and things like that. And yeah, usually when an adjustment is made, it's because, hey, we're heading in the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fine line. I know they want to be edgy, and yeah, we don't give
Well, just look at the comment section of their podcast. They get a lot of hate, man. More hate than they should of a beloved podcast.
Yeah.
And I think if they were honest with you, they'd say they made some wrong moves.
Well, I think it's bold that he's a comedian. He's playing the amphitheater, so that's going to be something. And he's going to be doing it on Saturday when it's raining. So
Oh, he's playing the amphitheater?
Theater?
I think so. Yeah,
Really?
I think that's where he is.
That is going to be hot and muggy.
Ooh.
Even if it was nice out, I don't know if I would.
It's going to be hot regardless. It's either going to be hot and muggy or it's going to be hot and sweaty.
Well, he'll be shirtless, so
You're right about
he
that.
might not care as much. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
It says I think Financial Amphitheater on Saturday.
You're right.
Wow.
Yeah, bold.
An outside venue for comedy. I've heard comedians talk about that. Some do not like it at all. They like that indoor space they can kind of hear. Mm-hmm. When you're doing it outside, man, it's tough to hear laughs from the stage out there.
Yeah. Let me see. KJ, some people are like, I can't believe you guys, can't believe Kev turned down Bert Kreischer. Yeah. I mean, the guy said, hey, if you want to do it, I guess, I could probably
I can believe
still.
you turned him down.
Yeah. I just,
I don't know enough about him to do a good interview. Like, I just found out about him at the Tom Brady roast.
Yeah, he's look. They're wickedly popular. I'm not saying.
Oh,
that.
yeah, no doubt.
What I'm just saying is, in the last year, they've definitely there's been a change in the atmosphere towards them.
That
There
was
just
kind
has been.
of, with you talking about that, that's kind of where I was with it. And, I was like, I probably, if it would have been before that, I probably would have been like, yeah, let's do it. But, we still might. If y'all think that is a great move, I'll see if we can rally that and have him in. I guess it'd be tomorrow, probably. So you got to let me know quick. Send those emails. Mail at kvjshow.com. All right, y'all. Have a great Thursday. Getting close to that weekend. Back here to get it going. KVJ Live, of course, on Saturday. Looking forward to seeing everybody out there.
We will not be playing the amphitheater.
No.
No, we're not. No, we're good. We'll be in the very air-conditioned, chilly Boca Black Box. All right, see you back here tomorrow, y'all. Goodbye.